The more private you become, the less people will like you. And that's okay. There will be some people, they will envy the fact that you are so private, that you are no longer an open book. No longer do you give people the opportunity to use what you tell them against you. See, there are some people, they only want to be around you so they can pick you apart. They only want to be around you so that they can know all your business and then proceed to talk behind your back, spread rumors, and slander your name. And when you deny people that opportunity, some of them may not like you. They don't understand the idea of treating yourself as valuable, as treating yourself as sacred. They don't understand being a more private person. It's because their mouth is always running. People who like to hate on and dump on other people, people who get jealous and envious of others, they get a kick out of knowing everybody's business. They get a kick out of always having the tea. And when you deny them access to your personal information, they act like you committed a crime, as if it's a sin against nature to not tell them all your business. See, people don't like people who actually guard their hearts, guard their peace, and guard their mind. Not being an open book, guarding your privacy from people who you suspect are gossips, slanderers, people who feel like your business is their entertainment. When you deny them that access to knowing things about you, they will not like you. And don't be surprised when the insults come. See, you may no longer be invited to different events. You may no longer be included in different, social gatherings. You might be excluded from many things simply because you become a more private person, simply because you are keeping your personal business under lock and key. It's amazing how people, they actually envy a mystery. When you become a mystery, that makes you more intriguing. Thus, it piques people's interest as into why you're so quiet. You ever wonder why people who are often loners, people who actually chill by themselves, people who don't mind being by themselves, are always bothered, are always, picked on, bullied, picked on by people simply because they're by themselves and minding their business? We really need to normalize leaving people alone when they're not bothering anyone. But see, for people who envy the mystery, who envy people who just know how to be by themselves and to themselves, you being a private person will trigger their anger and frustration. It's like you're a puzzle that they have to put together or a mystery they need to figure out. See, being a mysterious woman, being a more private person, keeping your business under wraps, that makes you wise and discerning, especially when you understand that everybody cannot be trusted with the personal details of your life. And people who desire to pick you apart with the attempt or with the goal of somehow trying to come at you, trying to make life hard for you, because as we know, misery loves company. And that's one of the major reasons why people will not like you when you become a more private person, because misery loves company. When you don't allow miserable people to have access to the private details of your life, to things you might be going through, be it good or bad, they dislike you because you treat yourself as valuable, something they don't do. Some people air out all of their business as if they're worth nothing. But when you understand how valuable you are, when you understand that words do have power and that actions have consequences, and telling certain people things about you can actually backfire on you, when you have enough discernment and wisdom to know that, when you actually have enough wisdom and discernment to keep haters, jealous, envious, gossips out of your business, people who get a kick out of other people's downfalls, when you become a more private person, people will not like you. But I want to get back to being excluded, because this is one of the things that normally happen when you are no longer an open book, when you start moving in silence, when you start being more private. People start excluding you from things. People no longer want you around because they can no longer use you as a source of entertainment. The moment you stop airing out all your business and telling people about your relationship issues, your financial struggles, your job issues, the moment you stop telling people everything about yourself, they're not going to want you around because you don't offer anything for them to talk about. See, some people are not interested in you because you're a decent person. They're interested in you because they feel like they can clown you or put you down in some way. And when you deny them access to doing that, they're going to exclude you. It's like if you're not willing to gossip, if you're not willing to give us all your business, then what do we need you around for? Just for your presence? See, people who have that jealous, envious, miserable kind of nature about them, they don't know how to communicate outside of talking about other people's business. They don't know how to communicate outside of gossip. They don't know healthy forms of communication. They don't know about mutual conversations. They only know one-sided conversations. That's another telltale sign that people are frustrated and don't like you because you become a more private person. Everything is normally one-sided. You can tell when somebody's going to talk behind your back, when they want to know everything about you and offer very little about themselves. I have been victim of one-sided conversations where I seemingly just open up my heart to these people, to this person, and tell them everything that I have going on, good, bad, in between. And then when it's their turn, they offer very vague answers. One of the telltale signs of a gossip, of a person who wants to be in your business so that they can dog you out to other people, make you look bad in some way, the conversations are normally one-sided. So these people, they don't like you because you become a more private person. You're no longer allowing them to use you for their entertainment. You're no longer allowing them to make you the butt of the joke. You're no longer allowing them to make you their coffee table talk. Being a more private person is wise. And it's not that you think you're the Queen of Sheba, that you think that you're some very, very important person. It's just that you realize everybody doesn't deserve access to the personal parts of yourself. Women who actually love themselves and value themselves, women who actually value their peace and their privacy, they don't just tell any clown all of their business, especially those who gossip about other people. In my opinion, I believe gossip is like one of the most lamest forms of communication. In addition to that, I believe it's demonic also. And because of how I believe, even in scripture, it says a gossip separate the closest of friends. It's like they like to hold on to things so that they can cause chaos, drama, and tension. So being a more private person, it is going to protect you, but don't be surprised if it gets you excluded. Don't be surprised if it causes you to end up hanging out by yourself. And that's the reason why a lot of women do tend to hang out by themselves. They tend to be loners. It's because they have experienced opening up themselves to the wrong people and they decided they're just not going to do that anymore. Now, am I saying that you should not have conversations with people, that anytime you speak, you should be worried that somebody's going to talk behind your back? No. But if they do talk behind your back, so what? What I am saying is that having discernment, having wisdom, and being selective on who you choose to share the private details of your life with matters. See, some people, they depend on you to be an open book because they want to pick you apart, because they constantly want to judge you, because they constantly want to shame you, because they're miserable. And if people see the light in you, and this is where it gets a little deep, when people are jealous and envious of those who are more private people, when they dislike you because now you're not saying anything, and maybe at one point you used to, it's because you are protecting your light, the light that is on the inside of you. If you are a spiritual woman, if you are a woman of God, if you have a relationship with Jesus the way I believe, the light on the inside of you, miserable people can see that. And they're hoping that you will be an open book so that they can frustrate that light in you, kind of shed some darkness over you. Guarding your peace and guarding your heart requires you to have discernment. And in having discernment, that's knowing who to confide in and who not to. So these people, they don't like you because you become a more private person. And now they begin to exclude you. They exclude you from maybe family events, from private events, from different work functions. People like others whom they can be intrusive with. And if you don't allow people to intrude in your life, if you don't allow people to offer their 2 cents on things that don't have anything to do with them, they might not like you. if you strike down people who try to speak negatively over you, because this is another thing that being a more private person will do for you, especially when you're dealing with toxic, jealous, envious people, people who are miserable in general. Some people want to know things about you so they can speak negatively over you. As I just said, words have power. However, nobody is more powerful than God. So I don't believe people can speak things over you and it'll actually happen unless it's according to God's will. But I digress. But there are some people, that doesn't mean that they won't try to speak negatively over you. Being an open book to jealous, envious, or miserable people, sometimes that gives them the ammunition to say things they should not say. Some people are just sitting back waiting to attack you. They're waiting for you to tell them that you're going through a tough time so that they can say, I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I didn't want to say anything. I knew this, I knew that. Oh, be careful of that. Watch out for people who have this fake concern that always comes with a side of negativity. People like that are normally waiting for you to fall. They're normally waiting for you to tell them more than what they should know so that they can attempt to speak word curses over you. Yes, that is a real thing. And the only thing that can strike that down is the Spirit of God on the inside of you. But I digress. There are some people, they're not going to like you simply because you have become a more private person. When you treat your life as sacred, when you treat your relationship as sacred, when you treat your career, whatever you value, when you start treating that as something that is precious, there are going to be some people who don't treat their life as precious. They're not going to like you. They're going to assume that you're being conceited. They're going to assume that you're being sneaky. They're going to assume all kinds of bad things about you. And I say, let them. Because you know, when you don't tell people your business, they just start making stuff up. They just start assuming things based on a little bit that they do see. And that's how you can tell the kind of person that you're dealing with. So these people, they don't like you because you become a more private person. You're no longer willing to be their entertainment. You have decided that you rather take your personal private issues to the Lord, to people you actually trust, and not just use your personal business as a way to fill the silence. That brings me to the next point. These people will exclude you. They don't like you because you're a private person, because you don't mind sitting in silence. Long gone are the days of trying to fill the silence with giving people all your business. And I am guilty of this. I used to be the kind of person that when I was around other people, I wouldn't want to just sit there silently. I would try to make conversation. And in doing that, I would end up telling people more than what they needed to know. Only until I realized doing that with certain people, that actually made me look bad, and while your image, you could protect your image to a certain extent, but people are going to want to believe what they want to believe, regardless. You can be a saint. You could be the best person ever. People are going to believe what they want to believe about you. But when you start realizing that, okay, I'm just telling people my business because it's quiet, because I'm trying to make conversation. You don't have to use your personal life as an icebreaker with people all the time. Sometimes doing that, trying to fill that silence, that gives miserable people the ammunition they need to use against you. And don't be around people, especially other women, who already have some kind of issues against you. And this is where I say, never try to play nice with a bully. Never try to play nice with women who are showing you they don't like you. They're showing you they have some kind of issues with you. Trying to play nice with a bully by trying to appear relatable, by trying to give them personal details of yourself so that they can feel comfortable with you, don't do that. You have some women who are very naive, and because they know being private is a wise thing to do, but because you might feel awkward in social settings, especially when you're around women who are sizing you up, giving you the skunk eye, giving you that envy stare, so you start opening your mouth saying things that you should not say, and next thing you know, in your attempt to try to be nice to the bully, whether it be in the workplace or in your personal life, now you're caught up in some drama. And that's another thing that can happen when you are not a private person. So these people, they don't like you because you're a private person. They can't get all the details on your personal life, and it's killing them. It's making them very frustrated because they see how you move. They see how unbothered you are. They see how kind you are, and they just want to know everything about you. And see, people who are envious of those who are private, people who try to make trouble and exclude and dislike people who are private, they don't understand that they're proving the point. Anytime they give you an attitude, exclude you, or mistreat you because they can't get all your personal business, they are proving the point that you actually made the right decision in keeping your life private. They are proving to you and showing you the reason why you should always stay hush hush about the things going on in your life. Everybody cannot be trusted with the personal details of your life. Everybody cannot be trusted with the hard things that you go through. So these people, they don't like you because you become a more private person. They no longer have access to all the details of your life. So they start excluding you. And see, what they don't realize is that excluding you is pointless because all you're going to do is be around people who are like-minded and on the same page as you. See, you're never alone. And people who are jealous, envious, and miserable, people who wish they had all the details about your life but don't, they don't understand that blocking them out is actually keeping you at peace and making room for people who actually matter in your life. People who actually have genuine concern for you and want to be there for you, who really want to listen to you, not because they get a kick out of your misfortune or out of, trying to dump on the things that you have going on, but because they genuinely care. When you remove snakes, fake people, miserable people from your life, you leave room for genuine people to come in. You leave room for those people who actually care about you and are not going to use your personal life against you to come into your life. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.